Welcome to Facts Over Feels with Alex and Isabella. Have you guys been seeing those ads for brain training games everywhere?
Oh, yeah. All over the place.
Promising to, make you sharper quicker.
Yeah.
Basically a mental Olympian.
The mental Olympian, yeah.
So you're not alone
Yeah.
if you're wondering if those claims are actually true.
It's a tempting thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a mental edge?
Oh.
Especially, as we age.
Yeah.
But the reality is the science behind brain training games
Right.
is a bit more complicated than the marketing might lead you to believe.
Yeah, for sure. So we went through a ton of research to try to get to the bottom of this. We've got studies, expert opinions, even a consensus statement from some big names at Stanford and the Max Planck Institute.
And what we found is that while these games can be fun and might make you feel sharper, the evidence for any real-world benefits is pretty thin.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you're saying all those promises about better memory, improved focus, maybe even holding off age-related decline, that's not really a thing?
Well, it's not that simple.
Okay.
The brain is incredibly adaptable.
Okay.
It's something called neuroplasticity.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like a muscle that gets stronger with exercise.
Yeah?
Learning new things is like weightlifting for your mind.
Oh, I like that.
So yes, you can train your brain to improve certain skills.
Okay, so I'm with you on the brain being adaptable, but where's the disconnect with the brain games?
The issue is that the improvements you see from brain games
Yeah.
tend to be very specific to the game itself. Let's say you get really good at Sudoku.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily translate to being better at remembering names
Right.
or focusing in a noisy environment.
Okay, so I'm basically just becoming a Sudoku master, which, not a bad party trick,
Yeah.
but not exactly what I signed up for.
Right. And that's the problem with a lot of the marketing around brain training. They make these grand claims about overall cognitive enhancement,
Right.
but the research just doesn't support it.
Yeah. That reminds me of that whole Lumosity case a while back.
Yeah.
Didn't the FTC come down hard on them for making some pretty bold claims?
Absolutely. They were claiming their games could improve performance at work and school, even help with serious conditions like dementia.
Wow.
The Federal Trade Commission ended up fining them millions for misleading advertising because they couldn't back up those claims with solid scientific evidence.
So there's a chance I'm not going to become a memory whiz by playing these games.
It's not about saying they're completely useless.
Okay.
They can be enjoyable and might offer some limited benefits like improving your processing speed or working memory in very specific tasks.
Yeah.
But those improvements rarely translate to broader cognitive benefits that actually impact your daily life.
Okay, but let's be honest. A lot of these companies do cite studies and research.
Right.
How do we as consumers navigate that?
That's where things get tricky.
Okay.
There's something called the file drawer effect that you have to be aware of.
Okay.
Studies showing positive results are more likely to be published,
Right.
while studies showing no effect often end up well in the file drawer.
Interesting.
This can create a skewed perception of how effective these interventions actually are.
So basically, take those glowing reviews with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
Look for evidence from independent research before investing your time and money. Good advice.
All right, so we've established that brain games might not be the cognitive silver bullet they're often made out to be. Where do we go from here? What can people do to keep their brains sharp?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. One of the most effective things you can do for your brain is probably not what you'd expect. It's physical exercise.
Wait, really? Ditch the brain games and hit the gym.
It might sound surprising, but getting your body moving has a huge impact on your brain health. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which helps support the formation of new neural connections.
I can definitely relate to that. Like when I work out, I just feel much more alert and focused afterwards. Exactly. It's like a reset button for your brain. And studies have shown that regular aerobic exercise, even just brisk walking a few times a week, can lead to measurable improvements in attention, reasoning, and memory.
Interesting.
In one study, participants who exercised for 12 weeks were 15% faster at solving puzzles and could recall 20% more words from a list compared to those who didn't exercise.
Oh, those are some pretty significant improvements.
Huh?
Okay, so exercise is in. What else can we do to keep our brains in tip-top shape?
Another powerful strategy is to learn new skills, especially those that are challenging and require sustained effort. Remember the Synapse project we talked about earlier?
Yeah, wasn't that the one where they had older adults learn things like digital photography and quilting?
That's the one. They chose those activities because they were mentally demanding, involved learning new skills, and required sustained engagement over time. And the results were pretty impressive. The participants who engaged in these activities showed significant improvements in memory processing speed and reasoning compared to the control groups who did less mentally stimulating activities.
So learning a new language or picking up a musical instrument could actually make you smarter. That's way more appealing than staring at a screen playing brain games.
It's definitely more engaging, and the key here is novelty and challenge. When you push your brain outside its comfort zone and force it to adapt, you strengthen those neural connections and promote cognitive flexibility.
So it's not just about keeping busy, it's about engaging in activities that truly challenge us. Got it.
Exactly. And the beauty of learning new skills is that it's inherently rewarding. It can open up new hobbies, passions, and even career opportunities. And let's not forget that cognitive health is influenced by a variety of lifestyle factors.
You're talking about things like diet, sleep, and managing stress.
Right, precisely.
Yeah.
It's not just about one activity, it's about taking a holistic approach to well-being. You can't train your brain in isolation.
Right, that makes sense. If you're not sleeping enough and surviving on junk food, those brain games probably aren't going to make much of a difference.
Exactly. You need to create an environment where your brain can thrive.
Okay, so we've debunked the myth of brain training games as a magic solution for cognitive enhancement, and we've explored some evidence-based strategies for keeping our brains sharp. What's the key takeaway you want our viewers to walk away with today?
I think the most important message is that while brain games can be a fun way to pass the time, they're not a substitute for a healthy lifestyle and engaging in activities that genuinely challenge you.
So skip the quick fixes and focus on the fundamentals. Exercise, learn new things, take care of your overall well-being.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone.
Love that. Challenge yourself, try new things, and never stop learning. Sounds like a recipe for a fulfilling life.
Absolutely. It's about embracing a growth mindset and cultivating a lifelong love of learning.
And you know what's interesting? Thinking about the opportunity cost of spending all our time on brain training games.
What do you mean?
What if we dedicated that time to pursuing something we're truly passionate about? Something that not only stimulates our minds, but also brings us joy and enriches our lives.
That's a fantastic point. Imagine if instead of spending an hour on a brain training app, you spent that hour learning a new language, writing a short story, or practicing a musical instrument.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And who knows, you might even discover hidden talents and passions you never knew you had.
It's all about investing your time and energy in activities that align with your values and goals.
So to wrap things up, I want to leave our viewers with a thought-provoking question. If you had to choose between becoming a master at Sudoku or learning a new language which would benefit you more in the long run, and why? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About,
Yeah.
what we could be doing with our time.
It's not about brain games are bad or anything. It's just about understanding that there are other things
Exactly.
that might be, more beneficial.
And we want to hear from you guys, so head over to the comments section and tell us what you'd choose, Sudoku Mastery or a new language.
And tell us why. We always love hearing from you guys.
Yeah.
Your comments and perspectives make these conversations so much better.
It's all about learning and growing together.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more myth-busting content and thought-provoking discussions.
Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. We've got some exciting topics coming up.
We do. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep those minds sharp and those curiosity fires burning.